Hello everybody. Today we are going to start the next particular thing, but I have decided to do something in a small and chunky types of concepts. So today our concept is structure of atom. Today our concept is structure of atom. I hope that it is visible to you. Structure of atom. Okay. So basically, in the structure of atom in the class ninth of chemistry, you people have to study three types of things. First is J.J. Thomson's model, J.J. Thomson's model, and the another thing is you have to study is about Rutherford model. Okay, Rutherford model, and then the last you have to understand what is the model that has been proposed by Niels Bohr. I used to call Niels Bohr as the hero of the chemistry because he had did an impactable, a marvelous job into that particular field. So I hope so this is the man now. So this is the man. Okay. Now what we will do is to understand basically first what is the J.J. Thomson's model for this. So basically he gave us the model that is of plum pudding model. This is of the plum pudding model. Basically it is of plum pudding. So basically what he did is plum pudding model. So basically what he did is the thing which you will understand it. So what he did is he takes up the water, he takes up a watermelon type of he takes the watermelon, and he used to tell that the seeds in the watermelon is nothing but the negative charge. It is the negative charge, while the red part of the watermelon, it is called the positive charge, and which we, and back in those times can be, they are now just it has not been it has not been introduced to ourselves that all these things are positive charge is known as a proton, and negative charge has been told to us as electron. So this is the J.J. Thomson's plum pudding model. I hope we are clear. So basically it is also called the watermelon model. And why it is called plum pudding? Because in the America or in the western countries, there they used to eat a type of cake in which the lot of cherries are there. So all the cherries which are being put onto the ball, all the cherries which has been put onto the ball, he termed it as electrons, as negative charge, and the whole white cake that he used to eat, it can be referred as the positive charges. So this is the way. This is the first J.J. Thomson's model. I am summing it into a very short thing so that you can do understand and do write it into your own words. Okay. Now we will understand another type of thing which is known as the Rutherford model. So Rutherford model, he had did an impactable thing into our into the society of into the society of physics and maths. So Rutherford model. So it has a very famous gold leaf experiment. What is it? It is gold leaf or gold foil. We will rather call it as gold foil. So he had did is that is gold foil experiment. So what he did is this. What he did is a very cliche type of thing, or a very good type of thing that he had did is. So what he did, he has taken a particular sheet. Okay, very good. He had taken a radioactive particle. It is of radioactive particle. So it is a radioactive particle. Okay, radioactive material. In fact, the cold foil sheet that he used to take is 1 millimeter, or I can say that it is 0.1 millimeter thick. We are taking in it as a what you will say in Antontry, it is only 1.1 millimeter thick, which means it is as thin as the tip of a pencil, or maybe thinner than that also. And the radioactive particle that he used to take is at the radioactive particle that he used to take, it is uranium. and uranium emits alpha particles. So what is the alpha particle? It is a very good thing that you have to ask. So what is the alpha particle? So alpha particle is nothing but a particle. Alpha particle is nothing but a particle. So alpha particle is nothing but a particle which used to emit, sorry, which has 2 unit mass, 2 unit mass and 4 2 unit of charge and 4 unit of mass. So this is of 2 unit of, so this is of 2 unit of charge, 2 unit of charge and 4 unit of mass. Okay, 4 unit of mass. Basically it is helium, basically it is helium with taken all of the electrons. So 2He4 is the basically the terminology that we are supposed to use into this. So this is the helium atom. So basically this particular helium atom that you used to study in later onwards, so this helium atom is the alpha particle. This is the alpha particle. Okay, now we will move further into that particular topic. And so what he did is he had just taken all these particular stuff and did what is being required and necessary into this. So he had did all to this, and this is the particular gold foil which is, as you can see over there. Okay, now we will understand it very very carefully. So that particular alpha particle which is supposed to go up to there, so those alpha particles, those particular alpha particles used to come over there with all of the sudden, and Rutherford found that 98% of the particles are just used to pass it over there. So he founded a very very important thing up to there. So we will just consider it for once time. So 98% of the particle used to pass it over there, and again, then what has just happened next, the next thing what just happened, he founded that 2% used to get back, 2% used to some deflection, and into that 2% only there are 1%, or you will say what you will say, there are very few particles. I'm not going into the number, but actually I don't have I don't the numbers in my mind, but I think that it is around 1% of the particles that are used to deflected by 180 degree. So these are the particles which are used to deflected by 180 degree. So these are the particles used to deflect by 180 degree. Okay, so what is the deflection of the 180 degree? It is of just because, as if this is the screen, this is my uranium atom, this is the particle, and if the 360 degree 180 degree is just like that. So this is the particular deflection, this is the particular deflection, and which is of 180 degree. As you can see that this particular thing, oh sorry, not 180 degree, I'm so sorry, it is 360 degree. So that particular thing is 360 degree, brother. Okay, now, so basically what Rutherford had found is very, these all are very crucial points to remember into the things. So he founded the 3 fundamental points, sorry, actually he founded 2 particularly very fundamental points. And the first fundamental point that he has founded is that the particle, the atom is 98% vacant or empty, which means if I have a stadium, so just a second, we will forget this analogy, we will continue into the second point. So the second point that the Rutherford used to do, that he used to find, is that for the deflection purpose, he had founded that the only 2% space in the atom, 2% space in the atom is a positive charge, is of positive charge, it is of positive charge. Okay, let me write it over there, positive. I know the writing is very very bad, but be up to there. So he did it, he find all those things, and this is all. Now we will consider it into a very more particular fashion type of thing, that this is that if you understand a particular analogy, and that particular analogy is that if you have a particular field up to which a ball is there, into it, so the ball is actually positive charge. so that ball is actually that ball is actually positive charge. So this is the positive charge, while this is the empty space, while the electrons are been revolving around it. So how he used to find that this particular thing is a positive charge? Because of the helium atom or the alpha particle that used to bounce back through it. Now, so this is the particular goal for experiment. Now we will move further, and talking back to the model that he had given through his founding of the gold foil experiment. So what he just found is this, that we have electrons, we have this is the so he found it that the atom is there, the positive charge is there, and the electrons has been revolving in a particular fashion, that is revolving around those particular things. So this is the structure of atom, and so that positive part, let me just redraw over it. So that particular yellow part is the positive charge, and it is very concentrated, it is very highly dense part. And while these are the electrons that used to these are the electrons that just a second, these are the electrons that used to pass on it. These are the electrons that used to pass on it. So these are all the electrons. Just a second, these are all the electrons. These are the all electrons that used to pass through it. So this is it. Now we will figure out, so this is the particular thing. Now we will figure out the next thing that Niels Bohr had given to us. Before Niels Bohr, you have to understand 2n square rule. So 2n square is nothing but the Bohr scheme rule, and into which n is the number of shells. So what the hell is the shell, and what is this? All those things we will consider. We will cover it into the further moving parts. Now, into the further moving parts. Okay. So, for example, if I take n is equal to 1, so then I have, for n is equal to 1, the number of electrons are going to be 2. The number of electrons are going to be 2. If I consider n is equal to 2, then I have 8. Okay, now, so that is n is equal to 2, so we have 8 electrons. So what the hell is this? So these all the things are used, they used to tell all those particular things. Okay, now we will consider it. Now we will just move forward up to the Niels Bohr model. So the Niels Bohr model is pretty much fascinating. He had given the H model. He had given the H atom model. He had given us the H atom model. No. This is the very classic figure that people used to remember into their days. So this is a very classic figure, and all those things you have to keep it in your mind. Okay, so this is the H atom model. This is a very this is a very lucid figure that people used to people used to learn it from this. So this is the particular point of things. This all are the electrons. So 2 electrons are over there, 8 electrons are used to over there, and the 18 electrons are used to go over there. So this is the particular thing. So this is 2, this is Z, and this is the 18 electrons that are used to go. So now the another thing that I used to tell students is this. The first point that he has given, the first point that Niels Bohr used to give us is that the electrons are revolving in a circular manner. These are known and into the fixed orbit, the fixed defined path. So the fixed paths in on which the electrons are moving, on which the fixed path onto which the electrons are moving, and that particular fixed path is known as orbits or shells. So these fixed path can be tell as shells. So these fixed path can be told as shells. Orbits or these fixed paths can be consider it as shells. Okay. So this is very clear to ourselves. Now, what we will figure out next is, so basically the fixed path. So he have taken the shells. So what he says indirectly in the manner that electrons don't use to consider the energy, or the electrons don't use to release the bounded energy from its own. Okay, this is the way. Now the second point, or either you will see the particular hydrogen atom which is over there. So he has taken that every particular path that are used to define over there has only and only two certain number of electrons. In the first shell, the only 2 electrons are been over there, and into the second shell there are only 8 electrons are over there. So up to that manner, the repulsion and the attraction between the electron and the protons, or the positive charge that is considered the positive charge that used to consider into the setting or into the thing has there. This is the positive charge, this is the negative charge, all those charges are there. So this is the 8 electrons. So this is the particular atom that Niels Bohr has given to ourselves. I hope that you will consider it as as an opportunity to learn, and I will just draw some basically. So there is a thing that is known as 2n square rule. So that is 2n square rule, or we will call it as 2n square rule, or we will call it as Bohr-Bury scheme. That is Bohr and Bury scheme. Now, that is the Bohr-Bury scheme. Now, we will move forward, and what is that Bohr-Bury scheme? So that particular fixed shell that we are supposed to see, so that particular fixed shell has taken some numbers. That shell's first shell is known as K shell, then L shell, then M shell, K, L, M, N, and so on and so on, so on and so forth. Now, so in the K shell, that is the N is equal to 1 shell, only 2 electrons is being passed over there. In KL, so this is the L type of thing, this is the second shell. So using the Bohr-Bury scheme, we have 8 electrons. We have 8 electrons. Okay. So we have 8 electrons. Very good. Into the second shell. KLM. So now we have N is equal to 3. So we have 3 as there, and we have that is 8 to the just a second, 9 to the 18 electrons. So we have 18 electrons over there. Now if we consider N, so we have N is equal to 4, that is 2, that is 4 to the power 2. So we have 16 to the 32 electrons we have over there. So I'll give you a very quick example into that particular thing. So let us consider I have this particular thing which is known as chlorine. So chlorine has the number of 17. It has the atomic number of 17, which means that it has 17 electrons. How can we manage to put into the shells with the help of the Niels Bohr structure of atom? So I have that particular thing, that particular shell. I don't know how many shells are going to be used into that particular thing, but I do have this particular thing over there now. So it is being clear for ourselves that for n is equal to 1 we have 2 electrons, for n is equal to 2 we have 8 electrons. So total we have consumed 10 electrons over there, and the remaining electrons are 7. The third shell the third shell has the space of 18 electrons, which means that third shell can possess 18 electrons. But third shell can possess 18 electrons, while we only need 7 electrons more, because we have only 7 electrons remaining. Now what we will do is a thing. So we have 2 electrons over there. So this is my first electron, this is my 7 electron. Very good. If we have to consider 8 electrons, so this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 electrons. Very good. For considering it to the last electrons, which is a very beautiful thing. So I have 7 electrons, I have the space of 18 electrons, but I have to, rather than the 18 filling 18 electrons, I have to have only 7 electrons. So these are the 7 electrons: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7 electrons. So I hope that we are clear up to there. I hope that we are clear. So this is the particular model of electrons that so this is the particular thing. Now I hope that you will all like the video. If you like the content, then do subscribe to the channel and figure it out that should I have to change the way of this teaching again, or anything else that you want to say. Again, I am telling you, if you give us the support, then definitely we will do the series in the Hindi also, or the thing that in the which that you all wanted to me. So this particular course is for class 9th. So this is particular course is for class 9th. I am hoping that you will all like the video. So do share and subscribe to the channel. So thank you very much.